I know it's been a while since you guys heard from me, but obviously the big news is here, right? Jim Harbaugh is the coach of the Los Angeles Chargers. Um, I would be lying to you if I told you that I seen this day coming. I didn't. Did not see this day coming at all whatsoever. I really, really, really hope that it would, but that's all I had to go off of, right? Hope and wishing, and ultimately it came true. This is not a move that the Chargers typically make. The Chargers are not typically in the running for these big type of head coaches, right? Coaches who have names, coaches who are established, coaches who are winners. This is not typically, where the Chargers go. So to say that I am shocked, that's definitely an accurate statement. I'm still shocked. It doesn't feel real because in my 20 years, going on 21 years of fandom, I'd never, ever, ever seen this coming. I could not see this coming. I could not, you know, picture this at all, right? Again, I could just hope and wish, but that's it, man. I mean, I'm elated that the Chargers are going to be contenders now. I really am. I really, really am. There's so much to go over. I just wanted to come on here and do this little quick live. I'm going to be posting videos into the weekend. I'm gonna go over things. One of the things that I'm gonna go over though, OC, DC, all of that type of stuff. The one thing I think though, and I told a lot of my friends this, I think you're gonna hear like in the coming months, maybe even weeks, maybe Daniel Popper or somebody, this whole long drawn out process, happened for 2 days, right? If you guys followed anything on social media, on Twitter, everybody was going crazy, right? Everybody was on pins and needles at the edge of their seat, waiting for this news to break. I think a lot of this is going to a lot of what this was Jim Harbaugh going over the entire organization from A to Z with the fine tooth comb. Honestly, I honestly think that's what it is. I think that's why this took so long. Um, Coaching hires in the past didn't take this long, right? You had guys like Anthony Lynn, you guys, Mike McCoy, just the past recent coaches, right? These guys have taken the job right away, right? Just off tops. The Chargers offered them the job. They took it right away. Jim Harbaugh is as experienced as they come as far as a coach goes. And I think he was going over everything from A to Z. And I think that's what the holdup was. I honestly do. I really, really do. Because Jim Harbaugh knows what it takes to win, right? He has his staff in place. Not just his coaching staff, but you're talking about everybody at Michigan, administration staff, recruiting staff, strength and conditioning, right? The staff that you don't see on Sundays, right? He had everything in place the way that he needed in order for the Wolverines to have success like they did. Um, so I think that that's what he was doing. He was going over everything with the fine tooth comb. And I think he put an outline in place of what the Chargers needed to do, everything that they needed to change, right? I think everything from roster all the way down to, you know, their program in the summer, right? Training camp, OTAs. I think he had everything lined up the way that he wanted to. And once the Chargers agreed to that, then he gave his commitment, and now we see that he has become the head coach. Honestly, I honestly think that's what happened. So it's very, very exciting times, guys. It doesn't feel real to me. It honestly does not feel real to me. I was gonna work out today. I skipped the workout. I'm just gonna get drunk. Honestly, I'm gonna get drunk because I'm so damn happy. I'm ecstatic. I'm ecstatic for everybody, right? All of us Charger fans. Most of us have been long suffering. If you're a Charger fan, I know you're not a bandwagon fan of any sort because we have no bandwagon. Maybe we will now. Who knows? But if you're a Charger fan, you've been long suffering. You have dealt with a lot of bullshit. You've dealt with chargering, right? We are known for that, right? Chargering. It is a noun. It's something to describe when you fuck something up so badly. That's who we are. That's who we are now. But having this guy here, a proven winner, is really like it. there's no words to describe it. Honestly, there's really no words to describe it. It's nuts. It's nuts. I'm so damn happy. Um, Thank you guys. Thank you guys in the comments. Yeah, I seen Derwin James deleted his social media. I don't know what that means. Um, but I think Jim Harbaugh is going to come in. He's going to have his own philosophy. Um, whether Derwin James is a part of that or not is yet to be seen. But there's going to be a lot of changes, guys. There's going to be a lot of changes. I think Charger fans in general have to adjust the way that they look at this team. There's so many. Ever since I've joined YouTube as a content creator, ever since I've joined Twitter, right? You know, as Pigskin Addicts, I've seen a lot of fandom that is really based on players, right? Based on players, based on you liking a player. Jim Harbaugh is not that way. You're, People are gonna have to adjust this, right? If you're a big Derwin James fan and he's not on the team next year, I mean, it sucks, right? He's a good player, but I trust Jim Harbaugh. I trust Jim Harbaugh. He's done it everywhere that he's been. And if Derwin James is not a part of this going forward, then I'm putting all my trust in Jim Harbaugh. He knows what he's doing. This is not a Brandon Staley situation. This is not a situation where you're looking at this and you're saying, "Oh, I hope this guy can do this," or "I hope this guy can do that." Jim Harbaugh has an outline laid out. He knows what he has to do to be successful. He's been doing this. He's been doing this since he took his first job at the University of San Diego. I think it was 2003 when he took that job, 2003, 2004, something like that. Something ridiculous, right? So he's had head coaching experience for over 20 years. He's had success for over 20 years doing this, right? So he knows what it takes. So if Derwin James is not a part of that and he has to go somewhere else, then I'm obviously going to wish him the best. But I trust Jim Harbaugh. I'm going to trust the new GM, whoever it is coming in. The final three or four candidates for GM are really strong candidates. So I think Horowitz is my pick. The Baltimore Ravens. He's I think the director of personnel, I believe, right, or whatever his title is. But I like Baltimore. Baltimore, they find diamonds in the rough all the time. They draft really well, but they also are on that undrafted free agent type of thing too. They bring in a lot of guys, a lot of late round picks who come in and contribute. So I that's my pick, Horowitz. But I would be cool with Dodds. I would be cool with Ian Cunningham. I'll be cool with Brown as well too. All these guys have connections to Harbaugh, so I'm really excited to see who the GM is. Again, I'm gonna jump into a little bit, later this week, probably tomorrow. I'll probably end up posting these videos tomorrow. I'm gonna jump into who I think the offensive coordinator is. I'm gonna jump into obviously, I think Jesse Minter is coming with Jim Harbaugh to LA. Jesse Minter, one of the best defensive minds in all of college football. He really showed that he belongs in the NFL. He's got an NFL type of mind. He is the next Mike McDonald, right? He comes from the Baltimore Ravens system, run the same exact system, coaches it very well. And he's a guy that is known as a teacher too, to be able to teach that to college kids, not have as much time to practice and all of that stuff, to have that scheme really look the way that it did, especially in the playoff against Alabama, national championship game against Washington. They look good, man. They look good. So I am so damn excited. So damn excited. So excited. Um I was looking for DJ's reaction, trying to figure it out. Yeah, he deleted all his social media. That's what I heard. That's what I seen. And I haven't seen. I think I followed him on Twitter too. I hadn't seen him in a while, so it looks to be true. We got to keep DJ for one season just because literally entire salary will be dead cap. Yeah, I agree. I agree. But I don't know, man. I think this coming season, Harbaugh knows. I think the organization knows that I don't think this is going to be a throwaway season, but I think this is going to be the season of dead cap, right? Being able to deal with that. So I don't know if they throw him in on that. I don't know if they're looking to maybe trade, right? Because if you're going to have some dead cap, you want to at least get some draft capital in return. Maybe there's a deal on the table. I don't know. Um, there's a lot to be seen, a lot to be seen. We're gonna figure it out here um, within the next coming months. What's gonna happen? Free agency is the next big thing to hit right once the playoffs are done. So um, things are gonna get very interesting, very quickly. Hope you're doing good, my brother. Bolt up, but yes, I'm doing good. Am I good now? Can you guys hear me now? No? Still no? Now? Now? Still nothing? Okay, you guys can hear me now. Okay, good. The stupid technology, man. My phone is connected to the little dash radio thing, and it's stupid. Um, okay, so I was going up. Let's see. I think where was I at? Where was I at? Oh, my expectations this year. I think the expectations are tame this year. Um, coming into like I want to say that they can make the playoffs as a wild card. I think they have enough talent to do that with Justin Herbert at quarterback, but I don't know what the roster is going to look like. I don't know what free agency is going to look like. I don't know what this team is going to look like. Right? I don't know as far as the dead cap situation. Khalil Mack is a guy you got to worry about. Joey Bosa, he's going to be another guy you have to worry about. Mike Williams, Keenan Allen. Those guys take up a lot of the cap in 2024. This is something that I've talked about a lot. I don't know, man. I don't know where we're gonna be at as far as the talent to really like compete like for real. But is 9-8 on the table? 9-8 in a wild card playoff berth? I think it is. I 100% think it is, especially if Herbert stays healthy and if the Chargers are able to develop a run game, right? If you're able to support Herbert, if you're not putting everything on his shoulders. And I think that's something that's going to take place day one. I think Herbert is going to have a lot of the load taken off of his shoulders. He's not going to have to go out there and be Superman. There's going to be some games where maybe he only throws the ball 23, 24 times, right? The Chargers run the ball 20 some, 25, 28 times, whatever. They're able to get, 180, 190 yards on the ground, right? It takes a lot of pressure off of him, takes a lot of pressure off the defense. I think that it's a real possibility they can, do 9-8. Now going forward, I do expect them to be really, really big contenders in the AFC West, not just the AFC West, but the AFC in general. Um, I, 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 I I'm very, very excited. I'm very, very excited. But as far as expectations for next year, I think a wild card is definitely on the table. Definitely on the table, especially when you see a team like Houston, first time head coach, rookie quarterback, right? A whole lot of young guys on both sides of the ball. Um, it's definitely possible. The Chargers can replicate what Houston did easily with a more experienced coach, more experienced quarterback. Definitely 100%. So um, that's my expectations for next year. Now going forward in 2025, I'm looking at AFC Championship games, possibly Super Bowls. To be honest with you, to really be honest with you, yeah, this is something that I'm definitely excited about. Um, so yeah, somebody was talking about Derwin James too. Yeah, I seen he deleted his social media. Pep Hamilton as quarterback coach, definitely. I think Pep is out there. I think he works for NFL Network now. But yeah, he obviously has ties to Harbaugh. He's a guy that he's been pretty successful everywhere that he's went. When he has, a full battery to work with, right? A good offensive line, good quarterback, good running backs, right? Receivers who can go out there and make plays. He's been good. He's been good in college and he's been good in the NFL. So I would definitely take him as quarterback coach. Um, Nancy Near, what's up, bro? Long time no see. Yes. I've been gone for a little bit, but like I said, I think I'm gonna come back here pretty soon. And again, I'm gonna try to stay as consistent as I can. I'm not gonna be able to do it every day, but I think I'm gonna be able to pump some videos out at least 3 or 4 times a week. So that's what I'm looking at here going forward. Thoughts on Malik Neighbors? I really like Malik Neighbors. Um, but I honestly think I see a lot of people. There's a lot of discussion about the pick. It's a top five pick, and you obviously you want to be there, but you don't want to be there, right? It means you had a bad season. Um, Honestly, if it was me, if I had to make the decision, I'm trading down. I'm trading down, and I'm accumulating picks just based off of what the salary cap situation looks like. based off of Herbert's deal. That's going to start kicking in a whole lot, going forward, right? I don't think it kicks in really until like 2025, where the number really kind of skyrockets a little bit. Um, so I'm looking at accumulating as many picks as I can. I like Malik Neighbors, I like Brock Bowers, but I think if you're Harbaugh, if you're trying to build this team up in your image, there's going to be players who are at they're as just as talented. I don't want to say as talented, but they are like in the neighborhood of talent, right? There's going to be tight ends in the neighborhood of talent of Brock Bowers, right? I think Brock Bowers is a generational tight end, but the other tight ends after him, they can kind of do the same things that he does. Obviously, not as good, but as far as talent goes, they're kind of in the ballpark. Same thing with Malik Neighbors. One name to watch out for, I think, especially if the Chargers trade down, Roman Wilson. Roman Wilson, wide receiver, he just declared for the draft. He was on that Michigan team. If you guys watched any of the college football playoff games, he was number one. He's a guy, I'm looking at him. I think he's going to be I don't want to say a late round pick, maybe a mid round pick, maybe third, fourth round, whatever. He is, the only thing that's a knock against him is that he's small. I think he's like 5'10, 5'11, 185 or something like that. But he's a 4'3", 40 guy. And if you guys watched any of Michigan's offense, the way that they used him in very, very creative ways, right? They didn't just put him in the slot because he's a smaller guy. They used him in creative ways, right? He was the guy taking the jet sweeps. He lined up in the backfield a lot. There was a very, very nice play on one of the Michigan touchdowns in the Rose Bowl where he lined up in the backfield. It was him and Blake Corum, and they kind of did a little trickeration, got Alabama completely off guard, and he ended up walking in for a walk-in touchdown. He's a guy you can use like that, and obviously he's familiar with Harbaugh. Roman Wilson's going to be available third, fourth round. There's another receiver, Troy Franklin from Oregon. I think he's going to be available probably second, third roundish too. He's not the biggest guy either, but again, he can get off the line of scrimmage very, very fast. And he's very tough for how thin and frail looking he is, right? He makes some tough catches, and he's not as easy to bring down as he looks. So I'm looking at some of those guys, like some of the guys who are going to be available third and fourth round. And this is the one point that I made too with Harbaugh, a point that I made on Twitter. Harbaugh is going to have all of the information on these kids coming in the draft. Next 3 years, Harbaugh is going to have the book on him. He recruited most of these guys, right? So even if it's guys at other colleges, right, Georgia's, Ohio State's, and all this stuff, he recruited these kids, right? He sat on their couches. He talked to their parents. He knows about them, right? He knows their profiles. He's watched the tape. He knows what offenses they can work in, defenses, whatever, blah, 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 right? He knows all of this stuff about these kids. He has very, very relevant information on a lot of the top prospects coming out. This draft, next draft, hell, even 3 drafts from now, because he was just recruiting a couple months ago. So he's got information on a lot of these young guys. So if we're trading down, I think we can get the most value because Harbaugh's going to know who works and who doesn't. This is the same exact thing that Pete Carroll did when he came from USC. Pete Carroll was able to draft some studs, right? You think about the Legion of Boom. All those guys weren't first round picks. The only first round pick was Earl Thomas, right? You look at Cam Chancellor, was a fifth round pick, but Pete Carroll recruited him, tried to recruit him to SC. He knew who Richard Sherman was. Richard Sherman tried to get him to SC. He knew who all of these guys were. And I even talked about it on Twitter too. Pete Carroll was criticized. He was criticized a lot by USC fans. There was Earl Thomas and there was Taylor Mays. Those were two of the big name safeties coming out that year. He got criticized because he didn't take Taylor Mays. Taylor Mays was a guy that he coached personally at USC. He took Earl Thomas instead. It obviously ended up being the right decision, right? Earl Thomas is going to be a Hall of Famer, right? His life is a little crazy right now, his personal life. Earl Thomas is a Hall of Fame safety. He's a Hall of Fame talent. He will be in the Hall of Fame. That's how damn good he is. He took him over Taylor Mays, and Taylor Mays is a guy. His NFL career did not pan out to be anything. He was a second round pick. He really didn't do anything. I think he was with the Niners for like 2 or 3 years, the Raiders 2 or 3 years, played special teams in the NFL. So Pete Carroll knew that he can work with Earl Thomas better than Taylor Mays, a guy that he coached, a guy that he was around every day at SC. This is the same type of thing that Jim Harbaugh is going to have. He's going to have this, right? He's going to be able to look at guys and say, yeah, I remember recruiting him. He can work in this offense. He can work in that offense. I remember recruiting this guy. He's going to be able to work in our defense. Jesse Minter is going to be able to get him going, right? He's going to have all this information on all these damn kids. So to me, the smart thing in this draft is to go down, collect as many picks as you can, try to get as cheap as you can, try to get as much talent for, you know, as little price as you can. That's to me the move right now. That's the move. If he's able to do that successfully, the Chargers are going to be deep. They're going to have a lot of talent. And when you look at the 53-man roster, there's going to be guys all up and down that roster who are going to be able to contribute in some type of way. So I'm very, 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 very excited. Very excited for that. Very excited for that. Alexis, welcome back. Thank you, man. Thank you. We are relevant again. Yes, we are. We are very relevant again. Um, what are your thoughts on the Herbert slander? I mean, it just it's kind of ridiculous now. I think a lot of people are projecting. I am not a psychology major, but if every time a quarterback fails and he gets compared to Herbert, um, I don't get it. I don't understand. I really don't. I don't understand. I really don't understand that at all. The Eagles fans were having a hard time with that. They were like, "Oh, Jalen Hurts, people were criticizing him for his bad game, and they were like, well, Herbert gets the pass and all this stuff. How does Herbert come into this? Like, how does Herbert play into another quarterback having a bad game? But that's just it's envy and it's projection. It's just wild projections. I don't even interact with it. I just laugh and just kind of move on. Um, let's see. Do you think Jim will know who to draft because he played with them? And again, yeah, that's exactly what my point that I was making. Pep Hamilton was there. Herbert's rookie year. Yeah, he was a quarterback coach that year, and Shane Steichen was the offensive coordinator. Um, and looking at what the Colts are doing now is no, it's not a surprise that Herbert looked as good as he did his rookie year with those guys. Those guys can coach, and Steichen is doing a great job with the Colts, with the backup quarterback too. And yeah, I think Pep Hamilton is a guy. His phone could be ringing pretty soon if it already hasn't. So I'm definitely looking at that. He's six. Who's 6'3"? Oh, I think you're talking about is it Franklin? Franklin, right? Troy Franklin. He's 6'3", but he's very slender though. Um, very slender, but he's explosive though. Definitely explosive. I watched him several times this year. I watched him against SC, and damn man, he was eating a 5-star quarterback alive. I think Damani Jackson. He's a Alabama transfer. He transferred to Alabama, but matching up against Troy Franklin 1-on-one, it was no match. No match at all. He was eating him alive. It was crazy. Um, yes, sir. Who's got it better than us? Yes, that's our thing right there. Uh, I got to start making some shirts. I got to start making some shirts. I might make some shirts. Maybe put them on here and sell them. I don't know. We'll see. Um, but yeah, this is just a quick live stream here. I gotta run some errands. Gotta feed the babies. But just a very quick live stream. Do you think Staley will be getting DC interviews? Honestly, no. Honestly, no. I think he has to start from. I don't think from scratch, but I think his best bet is the position coach. He's got to be a position coach again. What team is going to want him to come in there and run their defense? When more than likely he's not going to have as much talent as he did in LA. If you can't make it with all that talent, there's a very small chance you can make it with less talent. So I don't think he would. Maybe he gets some interviews. It's possible he gets some interviews, but will he actually be a defensive coordinator next season, going into next season in the NFL? I think the chances of that are very slim. I wouldn't bet on it, but you never know, right? It's a crazy business, and Staley seems like a good guy. So if he got another opportunity, it would be based strictly on him knowing people. It wouldn't be based on anything that he showed as the Chargers head coach slash defensive coordinator. It wasn't anything he did. He was not good at that. We all know how it went. And ultimately, this is why Jim Harbaugh is our coach now. So um, I just I don't see Staley calling plays for any defenses at least next year. Um, if he wants to coach again, I'm sure he'll have opportunities for some maybe linebacker coaches, safety coaches, whatever. But as a defensive coordinator, going in there, installing a defense, calling a defense, um, I to me, I don't see it. I don't see it. And if he did do that again, next year without like taking time off, without learning anything new, without learning from some of the mistakes that he made as the head coach of the Chargers, I don't think it will go well. To be honest, I really don't. I think he has to take some time off. I think he has to adjust his coaching style. I think his scheme needs to change as well. The Vic Fangio scheme is really, really outdated now. That information is outdated. The NFL is a year by year business. Things change. Um, his scheme is just outdated. Vic Fangio's scheme is outdated. Vic Fangio got fired today from the Dolphins. It doesn't work the way that it once did. Offenses are too good. Offensive coaches are too good. They will find a way to beat it. And the way to beat it is just simple motion, right? We we seen Mike McDaniel do it like 10 times on opening day, right, to the tune of 560 something yards. So yeah, man, yeah. I don't think that Staley is going to be calling plays at least next year. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I wouldn't bet on it. Yo, good to see you again. Oh, anyways, we got Jim. Yes, we did. We did. I'm so happy. Again, I'm gonna be going through some of this as the week progresses. I'm gonna set up shop tomorrow morning and try to record some videos. I'm gonna kind of give it a little time. I want some more information to come out. Possibly maybe we get a figure if it hasn't dropped yet of how much money he's gonna be getting. We know it's a 5-year deal. What as far as the neighborhood money, we don't know yet. I'm thinking it's maybe like 15 million, somewhere like that. Maybe more. Who knows? It could be, but we'll see. But I want to kind of wait for a little bit more information to drop before I start getting into videos. If news hasn't dropped already, so um, I'm definitely gonna be waiting for more information. But I think I'm gonna start recording some of those videos tomorrow, and again, I'll be posting them into the weekend. So it's good to be back, and it's good to be back under these circumstances. Guys, we're relevant. We are relevant. I don't know how long everybody's been a Charger fan, but we are relevant. We are relevant. This is a good day. Um, Hopefully everybody pours up. If you're drinking tonight, please be safe. Don't drive. Um, I'm gonna, I'm gonna run in the store real quick, get some stuff, and I'm going home and I'm pouring up because this is an occasion to pour up. This is the first coach that we've had with NFL experience since Norv Turner. And Norv Turner was strictly an offensive coordinator. Or Norv Turner was not he was not a head coach at all. Good, really good offensive mind, right? I mean, he was the driving force behind the Cowboys Super Bowls, the triplets, Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin. He was the guy behind there. He was the guy calling plays for them. Um, but we haven't had a coach with NFL experience since him. So we're back. We are back in a major way. Um, Superstar head coach, superstar quarterback. The Chargers are relevant, guys. The Chargers are relevant. I'm gonna be buying tickets. I'm going to games. I want to see everybody there. We're all on one accord too. That's one of the best things that I've seen too. Brandon Staley had this fan base in shambles. Everybody was. Some people were pro Staley. Some people were anti Staley. Right. Some people were kind of in the middle. Right. Everybody agrees that Jim Harbaugh knows what the fuck he's doing, and this is one of the major things that has happened for us as fans. This has never really been a thing for us. We agree we got a coach who knows what the fuck he's doing, and he knows how to win. So we're there. We're there. Um, you know, Things just have to work out as far as personnel and things like that. We got to give them a little time to build up the program, but we're there. We we're relevant. We are relevant. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off here. Again, I will be back again tomorrow. I will say tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then I'll definitely be back by the weekend. I'm gonna be posting multiple videos, be getting into these head coaching. I'm sorry, the assistant coaches, OC, DC, all that stuff. The GM as well too, and probably talk some personnel as well too. So I'm gonna be back. Gonna be back excited. Excited to have you guys back. Thank you guys so much for joining me in the stream. I will see you guys again very, very, very soon. Take care and bolt up. Let's go.